Hello and welcome to the ABA League magazine. Today we'll speak about the 19th round. Metalac was hosting Olimpija in Valjevo, Igokea traveled to Belgrade to face Partizan, Szolnok hosted Cibona. We also saw a match between a second and the first ranked team, Buducnost hosted Crvena Zvezda. At the end of the show we will of course show you the best 5 actions of the round. But first the news. Dušan Čantekin left Mega Vizura, he will be playing for Istanbul BB for the rest of the season. The 22-year-old center played in 16 games for Mega Vizura, he averaged 6.6 points and 3.5 rebounds a game. Cedevita's captain Roko Ukic is hurt again. He broke his finger against MZT, he is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Jure Lalic is the next player after Jelen Blessingame and Damir Markota, who left Cibona. Their best scorer is moving to Poland, he will be playing for Zelena Gora, where Sasha Filipovski is the coach. He played in 19 games this season in ABA League and was the 10th best scorer of the season. Luka Bogdanovic left Partizan Belgrade. He'll continue his career at Mora Banka Andorra from the Liga Endesa. He played in 16 games in the ABA League, he averaged 3.8 points a game. The fourth-placed Cedevita was hosting MZT Skopje in Doma Sportova Hall without its coach Jasmin Repesha and center Mario Delaš. The Macedonians came to the Croatian capital with just 10 men. They were without Stefan Sinovec, the Canadian center Owen Klesen also didn't play. Cedevita got its first points from Milo Bilan, who finished the game with a double-double. He scored 14 points and 12 rebounds. Dion Dixon answered right back, but Frane Pilepic made it 8-2 with a 3-pointer. The first 10 minutes belonged to Dixon, who scored 12 points, and MZT took a 22-14 lead, an 11-0 run. Cedevita closed the gap. The last basket of the quarter was scored by Tomislav Zupčić, who made it 23-21. Uroš Lučić hit back-to-back 3-pointers at the start of the second. The lead grew back to 4 points. But Cedevita answered. Tomislav Zupčić equalized with an awesome alley-oop. It was then Stanko Barac's time. He scored 4 points and Cedevita took the 33-29 lead. But the home team didn't stop there. The 14-0 run made it 39-29. The home captain Roko Ukic made a 3-point play to make it 48-35, but Sead Šehović stopped the bleeding for MZT with his 3-point play to make it 48-38 after first 20 minutes. We had to wait for almost 4 minutes into the third quarter to see the first basket. Marko Tomas hit his only 3-pointer of the game and it was plus 13 for Cedevita again. MZT responded with 4 consecutive points from Aleksandar Cvetković, who finished the game with 12 points, and it was 53-49. The score after 30 minutes was 61-51. Nemanja Gordić scored the last points of the quarter. Cedevita managed to pull away at the beginning of the fourth. Stanko Barac made it 66-52. Tomislav Zupčić, he finished with 12 points and 8 rebounds, scored after the shot by Nemanja Gordić, and the home team had its biggest lead of the night. Stanko Barac scored on a breakaway and it was all but over. The score was 77-60. Dixon put his team a bit closer with the dunk, but Cedevita prevailed. The final points were scored by Dixon to make it 81-70. He set his personal best in ABA League with 26 points. He added 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Metalac hosted Olimpija in front of the sellout crowd in 15th of September Hall. It was a rematch of the game in Ljubljana where Metalac won after being behind for as much as 18 points. Olimpija came to Valjevo without Luka Rupnik and Halin Kanacevic. The home team was without Nikola Otašević. Nikola Malešević played for just 5 minutes. Nikola Jevtovic scored the game's first basket, but Olimpija went on 9-0 run behind 3-pointers by Marko Marinovic and Klemen Prepelic. Dino Muric scored his first points to put Olimpija ahead by 6, 14-8. Alen Omic scored the last basket in the first quarter. The score was 19-15 for the guests. The home team started the second quarter with an 8-0 run. Đorđe Majstorović made it 23-19 for Metalac. It took Olimpija more than 4 minutes to score its first points of the quarter. Saso Salin hit a 3-pointer after the stolen ball. It was Vasilije Vučetić, the youngest member of Olimpija, who scored the last points in the first half. It was 33-31 at the break for Olimpija. Alen Omic was on fire at the beginning of the third quarter. He scored 6 of Olimpija's 9 points and the lead grew back to 6. It was 42-36. Petar Rakičević brought his team back to just -2, but Olimpija played better in the closing seconds of the quarter. After the basket from Marinovic, the lead was back to +6. The game was decided when Hristo Nikolov scored for Olimpija to make it 58-45. Metalac didn't score for almost 3 minutes, but then Dušan Kutešić made it 58-47. The home team then scored 3 consecutive 3-pointers and came to just -6. But Olimpija was ready. The Dragons went on a 7-0 run to make it +13 again. With a minute and 20 seconds left, Dino Muric put the game out of reach. The end result was 76-67 for the team from Ljubljana. Fourth place Partizan, winner of the last 5 games, hosted Igokea in front of 7,000 fans in the Pionir Hall. The guests lost its last 4 games, so it looked like an easy job from the team from Belgrade, who was playing without Milenko Tepić. Dušan Katnić scored the game's first points, but Partizan answered right back. They were a much better team. Đorđe Gagić put them in front 18-8, and Partizan had a double-digit lead. When Mihailo Andrić scored a 3-pointer, the lead grew to +11. Jonathan Jones brought his team closer with a 3-point play at the end of the first quarter. The same player was on fire at the start of the second quarter. Igokea was on 7-0 run. It was 21-17. But Partizan stopped the bleeding. Dragan Milosavljević hit his second 3-pointer to make it 28-19. The home team got to double-digit lead again when Vanja Marinković scored his 3-pointer. Igokea scored its first 3-pointer in the 8th try. It was Marko Čakarević who made it. He scored 9 of his 18 points in this period. Igokea closed the gap to -4, but Partizan then made 5 consecutive points. Edo Muric scored a 3-pointer to make it 38-28 at the break. The lead grew to +12 when Sasha Pavlović scored to make it 42-30. Duško Bunić then went on a roll for the guests. He scored 8 of his 16 points in the third quarter. Igokea came to -5, but again Partizan answered, and it was +12 for the team from Belgrade. Igokea scored 2 3-pointers at the end of the quarter. Dušan Katnić made it 57-49. Marko Čakarević, ex-Partizan player, scored 8 consecutive points at the start of the fourth. He brought his team to just -2 points. Duško Bunić, who finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds, scored 2 baskets. Igokea was back in the game. Partizan answered with 10-0 run. Milan Mačvan scored 4, Edo Mulić 5 points. With a minute left in the game, the lead was +11. The score at the end was 75-65, 6th straight win for Partizan and 5th straight loss for Igokea. The Slovenian national champions Krka were hosting the last place Bulgarian team Levski Sofia. The Bulgarian champions came to Nova Mesta with just 8 players, 3 of them were juniors and riding a 16-game losing streak. Krka played the game without Bukar, Mulalic, Bunčina and Plutak, but they started well. Luka Lapornik and Malcolm Armstead made it 16-4. The guests looked totally lost. They scored just 6 points in the first 7 minutes. Pavel Ivanov made it 18-6. The same player scored the last points of the first quarter. He got a 3-pointer to make it 18-9. Ivanov finished the game with 17 points. It was Jure Ritlop who put Krka ahead 22-11 with his alley-oop. He finished the game with 8 points and a personal record in ABA League. Matej Rojc hit his only basket of the night to put Krka into double-digit lead again, but then the guests started to play much better. They went on 10-0 run and closed the gap to 33-32. It was Malcolm Armstead who put the end to the bleeding. The score at halftime was 36-32. Dimitar Angelov scored the first 8 points for Levski in the third. The Bulgarians kept it close. It was 44-40. The stage was again set for Malcolm Armstead, who started a 10-0 run for Krka, and the lead grew to 14 points. The last basket in the third was scored by 16-year-old Jordan Minchev, who got his first points in the ABA League. The score after 30 minutes was 56-45. The lead grew back to 14 points after Armstead hit another 3-pointer. Alexis Vangmene ended the game with 14 points and 6 rebounds, but the play of the game was this block shot. Levski's 8-2 run made it 61-53, but that was all they can do. Armstead, who finished the game with 24 points, 4 assists and 5 stolen balls, put his team back into the double-digit lead. Žika Zatežić scored a 3-pointer to make it 72-61, which was also the end result. Krka got its third straight win. Levski suffered the 17th consecutive defeat. The Hungarian champion Szolnok was hosting the reigning ABA League champions Cibona. Jure Lalic, who left the club after the game, scored the first points of the match. David Vojvoda, the best scorer for Szolnok, scored the equalizer. The newcomer Michael Lee put the home team in front 8-5. Cibona then went on a 7-0 run. Marko Jagodić Kuriđa made it 14-11. The last points in the first quarter were scored by David Vojvoda. The result after 10 minutes was 14-13 for Cibona. Jagodić Kuriđa continued with a great performance in the second quarter. With his 14th point, he ended the game with 21 points and 12 rebounds. He made it +6 for the guests. After Marijan Rozić scored, Cibona had its biggest lead of the game. It was 23-15. Szolnok came right back. First it was Strahine Milošević who made it 25-22, and then Lazaric Jones who scored the equalizer. Cibona still went on a break with the lead. Ivan Šerišević made it 35-33. Jure Lalic scored 6 points at the start of the first quarter. Cibona was ahead by 3. Szolnok was back in the league after 5 consecutive points, but it didn't last long. Dominik Mavra scored 5 consecutive points, Cibona was on the 9-0 run, and the lead was +7. After Filip Krušlin scored his three-pointer, Cibona has its biggest lead, +8, but Lazarik Jones made it 56-51 after 30 minutes. Dominik Mavra scored another three-pointer to make it +8 again, but Szolnok answered with 3 consecutive three-pointers to make it 65-62 for Cibona. Strahine Milošević put his team in the lead with 3 minutes to go. The Hungarians were on a 13-4 run. Ivan Siriščević, who finished the game with 12 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists, made it 72-70 for Cibona with 60 minutes left. With 5 seconds to go, Cibona made an intentional foul. Strahine Milošević made both free throws and the game went to overtime. The Hungarians started better, but Dominik Mavra scored back-to-back three-pointers to put Cibona in front, 82-80. Strahine Milošević blocked Dominik Mavra's shot and David Vojvoda scored on the fast break. With 25 seconds left, Dominik Mavra scored a three-pointer to make it 87-87, but Szolnok scored the last basket of the game and they celebrated an important win. Second-ranked Buducnost hosted undefeated Crvena Zvezda in the derby of the 19th round in the sold-out Morača Hall. The team from Belgrade was winless in Podgorica since 2004. They were looking to break Partizan's record of 18 consecutive wins. Darko Planinic scored the game's first points, but Charles Jenkins answered right back. He scored 8 of his 17 points in the first quarter. Zvezda took 15-11 lead. Buducnost then went on 11-2 run. Vladimir Dašić made it 22-17. It was then Mike Cirbe's time. He scored 6 consecutive points to make it 24-23 after 10 minutes. Cirbe scored the first 2 baskets in the second quarter to make it 24-27 for Zvezda. The guests hit their first three-pointer in 6 attempts. Branko Lazić made it 30-24. Buducnost then went on 9-0 run. It was Čedomir Vitkovac who made it 35-30. The last points in the first half were scored by Bojan Subotic. Buducnost was in front 41-34. Buducnost was on fire at the start of the third. J.R. Reynolds and Darko Planinic scored to make it +15. But then the home team hit the wall. Crvena Zvezda started to play better. It was Charles Jenkins who closed the gap to just -2. The comeback was complete when Marcus Williams scored 4 three-pointers to make it 62-54 for the team from Belgrade. Overall, Zvezda made a 28-5 run, +8 was the highest lead for the guests. Buducnost went on a 10-0 run at the start of the last quarter. Bojan Subotic made it 64-62. Suat Čehović scored a three-pointer with 2 minutes left to make it +6 for Buducnost, and it looked like the home team will win the game. But then Nikola Kalinic scored to make it just 73-71 for Buducnost. It was +4 when Čehović hit both his free throws with 52 seconds left. Teams then traded personal fouls. With 13 seconds left, Buducnost was ahead by 2. Marcus Williams missed his last free throw. Nikola Kalinic got the ball and scored the winner for Crvena Zvezda. Buducnost actually had the chance to win, but J.R. Reynolds missed the shot. Zadar hosted Mega Leks in front of 3,000 fans in the Krešimir Ćosić Hall. Marko Ramljat put his team ahead with a three-pointer. Rade Zagorac then made it 4-3 for Mega Leks. When the current league MVP Nikola Jokic scored his first basket, Mega was ahead 15-13. But then Zadar's James Florence scored 5 consecutive points and the whole team was in the lead after 10 minutes. Domagoj Bošnjak scored back-to-back 3-pointers at the start of the second and Zadar was ahead by 8. They were on a 12-2 run. Mega answered with its 9-0 run. Nenad Miljenović put his team in the lead again. Josip Sobin, who came back after the injury, made it 33-30 for Zadar. The last points in the first were scored by Nikola Jokic. It was 33-32 for Zadar at the break. Zadar was in the lead for most of the third quarter, but Marko Kešal then scored back-to-back 3-pointers and Mega went ahead 45-44. Danilo Jokic scored 6 consecutive points to make it +6 for the guests, and when Ognjen Jaramas hit his 3-pointer, the score was 59-52 for Mega Vizura. Ive Ivanov brought his team back to just -1 at the end of the third. Josip Sobin put Zadar back in the lead at the start of the fourth. It was 61-60. Dejan Musti scored twice. Mega was ahead again. It was +6 for the guests when Dejan Nikolic was left unguarded. Zadar answered, Marko Ramljak stole the ball and with 2 minutes left he scored on a break to make it 72-69. Zadar was on a 9-0 run, but then Josip Sobin and Ive Ivanov both foul out. With 38 seconds left, Marko Kešal got a basket to put Mega ahead with 73-72. Filip Kraljevic scored a winning basket with 19 seconds left, but he left the door open with a missed free throw. Nikola Jokic didn't score for Mega and Zadar got its 10th win of the season. Zadar won 8 of its last 10 games. Mega Vizura was defeated for the 4th time in a row. Here are the results of the 19th round. Cedevita beat MZT quite easily, Olimpija won against Metalac in Valjevo, Partizan was better than Igokea, Krka won at home against Levski. We saw a great game in Szolnok where home team won after the overtime. In the great derby, Crvena Zvezda was better than Buducnost. Zadar was better than Mega Leks. Let's look at the standings. Crvena Zvezda is still in the first place, Buducnost is second, Cedevita third and Partizan fourth. Olimpija is fifth, Zadar jumped to 6th place, 9 wins for Krka, Szolnok and Cibona. Metalac has 8 wins, Mega Leks 7, MZT 6, Igokea 5, Levski is still at the bottom of the table. David Vojvoda is our MVP of the 19th round. He managed to reach a playing index of 31 in Szolnok's win in overtime against Cibona. He got there by scoring 21 points and 8 rebounds and adding 6 assists, 1 steal and 1 block shot in 33 minutes he played. He also drew 7 personal fouls. Let's look at the 5 best actions of the week. In 5th place, alley-oop from Jure Ritlop, Krka, novo mesto. In 4th place, another alley-oop, this time Tomislav Zupčić, Cedevita. In third place, Alexis Magmene with the block shot, Krka, novo mesto. In second place, alley-oop from Kremen Plepelic to Hristo Nikolov, Union Olimpija Ljubljana. In first place this week, Nikola Kalinic with the game winner for Crvena Zvezda. The next round starts on Saturday with a match between Levski and Cedevita, followed by Metalac and Buducnost. Cibona hosts Krka, Partizan will travel to Skopje. Two more games then on Sunday, Olimpija hosts Zadar, Crvena Zvezda hosts Szolnok. The round closes on Monday with the game Igokea versus Metalac. That's all for today, see you again in a week.
Liga!